The year was 1940. The World War II was in full swing. The US Army Air Corps requested 23 aircraft manufacturers to come up with an aircraft that would outperform and defeat the enemy bombers. And among these manufacturers was the McDonnell Aircraft Corporation, a new aircraft parts manufacturer that was keen to make its own aircraft. The company initially came up with a concept where the aircraft featured an Allison 3420 engine in the middle of the fuselage that would power up a pair of pusher propellers mounted on the wings. The concept was not that impressive, so they came up with another design which would feature two 3.3 liters Continental 1430 piston engines which would blend with the wings to reduce the drag as much as possible. And it worked. In 1941, a contract was sealed with the Army to come up with two prototypes. The new model also came up with pressurized cabins and was meant to feature 6 M4 cannons. The first prototype of the Moonbat was ready by December 1943, but during the trials, the engines would heat up and would require extensive repair to get them up and running. And these issues were just during taxi and ground run-ups. The aircraft still did not take off. In January 1944, the Moonbat finally took it to the skies, and the flight only lasted for 6 minutes because the aircraft had some issues with its, you guessed it, the engines. In total, the aircraft had 13 flights, and during these test flights, it was clearly evident that the aircraft wasn't performing as expected. The promised speed was 472 miles an hour, but the aircraft could only reach around 405, producing 300 horsepower less than expected. Featuring a 1430 engine soon turned out to be a bad idea, and in September 1944, the only built prototype got caught up in flames because of engine fire. The company had plans to just change the engine and install an Allison or a Rolls-Royce, but this was during the time when World War II was at its peak. The engine manufacturers were busy building engines for aircrafts that were actively fighting in the war, and building an engine for an experimental aircraft wasn't a priority. After the only built prototype was destroyed, the Army had no option but to cancel the production of the second prototype and put an end to this Moonbat program.